Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just finna go. I'm just finna go. Yeah, I hit threes with no eyes. Threes from the ring, no lie. Cross my heart and I die. They don't wanna catch me outside. Lacing no wave, it's a tie. I couldn't take an L if I tried. Funny when I start trying to play around with them, they really start feeling my vibe. They can't reach where I'm trying to reside. Out of reach if I fall, I'ma die. Way too high if I slip, I'ma glide. Never know I'm alone for the ride. I'm about to become a menace, I promise. They can restart when I finish. I'm just being honest. Can't nothing stop me from climbing. They'll always find them a problem. Yeah.
Yo, what's good? What's happening? Brand new episode 3's from the ring. Of course, it's your boy Chris J. Got the boy Trell Sav, Tyler in the background.
Yo.
Alright, we all here in a minute. Well, no, we actually, this is the first time we recorded back-to-back weeks. But
we didn't record last week.
Yes, we did.
What we talked about?
What did I name? I remember naming. No, we did not. You're right.
I'm about to say, because I want to finally remember if I fell asleep or not.
Right. Take that back. We didn't record last week, but we got stuff to talk about this week at least. Wrestling wise, we got to talk about backlashes this week. We'll talk about the predictions for that. Daniel Bryan is somewhere, and question of did AEW do anything happen is in question as well. Then with basketball, which we're going to start in right now, a lot has happened. We're about to enter the last week of the season, so a lot of drama, seeding battles and stuff like that in the horizon. But like how we have to kind of start most basketball talk with the eventual Lakers conversation. So currently, Lakers are the 7th seed. AD has been playing, starting to look like Anthony Davis, and he hasn't looked like Anthony Davis even before the calf injury. So he's starting to look like AD. LeBron is back as of tonight when they play. Who the hell they playing?
He's not coming out. He said he ain't coming back. He definitely will go against the Pacers. Because AD pulled out tonight too, so it's looking like Braun said, "I ain't gonna play as well."
Hey, they sat there and said, "Hey, let's just hold on to the 7th seed, man."
Possibly beat the Rockets without.
They low key can, but they don't got Schroeder either.
Yeah, they had Kuz and Drummond.
Kuzma's been showing up for like one quarter.
He the reason they won. He the reason they won against the Knicks yesterday.
Him and Tucker. Tucker said, "Hey, look, man, I'm going against D Rose, man. I got to show the young guy what it was."
Like, yeah, bro. Like, what fellas?
I'm not worried about them. You know, as long as they're healthy. The health is the only thing that's in question.
The best thing the Lakers got going for them is the play-in tournament. Now, I don't know what's the fucking gall of wanting to see the Clippers in the first fucking round. I don't know why every team want to see the Clippers in the first fucking round. Rondo got that team looking like a well-oiled machine. Don't go against the Clippers in the first fucking round. Hey, they got Mavs fans and Blazers fans like, ooh, we should go. No, the last team you want to go against right now. Now, if you can get in a situation in which you can beat the Nuggets in the first round, then yes, they don't got Murray. So you ain't got to really worry about them unless Michael Porter Jr. plays like a first round pick.
Well, know, Kuzma, Michael Porter Jr. sees Kuzma and turns into legit to Kevin Durant.
But in terms of like the Lakers, like the last team you want to see in the first round is the Clippers. You want to wait till at least the second or the conference finals because that is the only team that legitimately has a case to beat you. That's it. There's no other team that if I'm the Lakers, I'm scared of. The Suns just got slapped.
Suns been on it lately.
Yeah.
We don't know if Donovan Mitchell come back during the playoffs or after the first round. Who knows? When you look at fucking Denver, that's easy. So then you look at Blazers, that's a sweep. You look at the Mavs, you might have one Luka game in which he do to everybody and show, hey, I'm here. And and then you look at somebody like who else?
I think you named all the teams.
You know, what in the play-in you got to beat the Warriors. My
The
nigga, let's
play-in,
get it.
for them, the play-in. Okay, so let's just say the Lakers stay at 7, Warriors stay at 8. They play, so they will play to determine. So okay, the 7th, 8th seed plays. If the 7th and the 7th seed, whoever wins that game locks into the 7th seed. So like if the Lakers somehow lose, they're the 8th seed. And then but if the Lakers win, they remain the 7th seed. They locked in. The 8th seed has to play the winner of 9 and 10. So yeah.
Man, look, okay. If I'm the Warriors, if I'm the Lakers, I look and I eat that play-in tournament. It's just the only thing is the lack of rest that they had. They will have to play more games. They'll probably play more games than anybody played this season, right?
Probably like one game.
But still, it's better if they touch this play-in than to not touch this play-in. Don't go against the Clippers in the first round. Am I confident that they will lose against the Clippers? No. I don't. I think basketball is better when the Lakers beating the Clippers. But in the sense of, in a sense of there's a better chance in the Lakers losing to anybody. The Clippers is the last. You got to see if they got a chink. The chink in their arm. The last big problem they had was the fact that they had no person to control the basketball. The biggest problem they had. Randle came in. He got that offense going. He even got Boogie looking tolerable. You got to see what the chink is. It's not going to be, Paul George and Pappy. Fuck that. You still got to deal with Kawhi. If Paul George averaged 18 points a game, they still probably win with Kawhi averaging fucking 29. Yeah. And Luke Kennard averaging like 11 or 12 or 14. Things in that nature. And Serge Ibaka isn't back yet, too, which is another situation that you'll have to worry about. Not only on offense, he's reliable, but also on defense, where he's extremely reliable. So you have to look in that situation. I think size, the Lakers are better than everybody in the league in terms of size, in terms of being able to guard the paint efficiently. It's just about that perimeter. And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, even though Kawhi Leonard don't play off the perimeter as much as Paul George play off that motherfucker. He's successful against the Lakers off that motherfucker. So you don't want to go against them in the first round. That's you shouldn't think about that. Now, if you could find a way to get the Nuggets in the first round, that's good. You just will see the Clippers in a second, right?
For the Lakers at this point, they're either going to be 7 or 6 at this point.
So no matter what if you go 7, you see the Clippers no matter what second round.
Yes, unless they tank. Unless they tank. And then, because the easiest road is literally the Jazz path, which is and honestly, the AD owns Gobert's soul for some goofy ass reason. So, like you beat them, and then you get the winner of the Nuggets and either the Blazers. Either could be the Blazers or the Mavericks at 5.
No matter what. I want to speak to this. A lot of people say enjoy the play-in. Do you really think the Lakers worried about a play-in tournament against those teams?
No.
I don't think anybody understands that the only downside about that play-in is the wear and tear that will have on somebody's body who's coming off of a high ankle injury and a motherfucker who literally everybody thought he probably tore his Achilles as well, right? So when you think about that, that's the only reason. But in this aspect, I think a play-in would be better because you have to build chemistry at this point. Chemistry is fucking needed. I know you got Braun. I know you got Marc Gasol. Them two can play with anybody. But chemistry is still needing to find out what the fuck Andre Drummond's job is. Because at the moment, He's still in minutes. It is what it is. I'm not going to say he sucks because in some games where his size matters,
and rebounds and his ability to just get rebounds.
It matters, right? You think about some people believe, and I'm about to hit on that boat too, they literally got Drummond for the Nets. And Chase, it has to be a war in which every possession matters. Drummond works well because everybody that has somewhat size on the Nets are going to have to guard AD. So if Drummond can't get a bucket in that situation, he deserves to play in the African League next year with J. Cole. That's a fact. So if he can't guard, if he can't get a score point in that situation, then that is what it is. But they still got Caruso, which he's going to get snubbed from an all defensive team this year, which is okay. You still got Talon, which is good. You still got fucking not Wesley Matthews, folks on the bench. Is it Ben McLemore?
Yeah, Ben McLemore.
I get him mixed up with the nigga from the Warriors who basically lost his job next season too.
In baseball. We'll talk about that nigga later.
Yeah, he lost his job. He lost his job. But Ken Bazemore, then, he still got so much depth that you can use. I think Marcus Gasol is a crazy ass weapon in the Clippers series because I don't see Zubac dealing with that. Because Ibaka is going to have to guard AD along with Kawhi. So I don't see Zubac dealing with that situation. Dennis Schroeder's going to have a very hard time in that Clippers series, but Bryan is going to be the person who controls that offense. Losing Dennis Schroeder was fucking big, by the way, because they still got to form chemistry with that nigga. Even though I believe Dennis Schroeder is a bucket, him playing with the bench and coming off pick and rolls off Montrezl Harrell, going to be not coming off the bench. I mean, playing with the bench.
I think he has, in terms of recently, I think he has the best chemistry because you got to remember he was technically the number one option for a month.
Yeah, I mean, he do have the best chemistry with the team. But I mean, it happened with Kuzma, right? It's still taking Kuzma time to find out what the fuck his role is on the Lakers. Because when you got somebody like Braun and AD coming in, you got, what the fuck do I fit? Right? Like, I'm so used to taking 10 shots a game, now my shit got whittled to 5. Where the fuck do I go? So, with them injuries that came in with Schroeder and AD, with LeBron and AD, all those shots shooters were taking, he's still not going to be able to take this many ass shots. Just because you got to get both of them niggas going. Like, the main focus in Lakers winning is Braun going to get you 25 on a bad night in the playoffs. It's fucking LeBron James. Unless they sweeping, and he going to give you a nice 20 and get on that bench and chill. But when you got Braun in contested games, he's going to give you 25 because that's just the way Braun is. You ain't got to worry about that. He's going to get to the line. He's going to make the ones that count, unless it's literally like in the fourth quarter in which Braun just can't make a free throw to save his life. But he's going to make the ones that count throughout the rest of the game. You Gucci. The main success of a Lakers W is for you to get AD going. Just being the best player on that court, which he has shown that he can be. Fucking send Jokic to hell. So he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that to the Knicks. That Knicks defense is fucking amazing. The best defense in the league, damn near, bro. I don't know who's better than that Knicks defense, bro. That nigga Thon Thibodeau don't know how to control. Like, how did he know how to just make a good defensive team, bro?
That man just knows how to maximize talent, no matter who it is.
I used to think that nigga still checks. I don't think he still checks no more.
No, well, the first season, look, man, the formula is always consistent with Tibbs teams. First season is beautiful, man. Somebody's gonna be an MVP candidate. Looking really fucking good. Derrick Rose, first year. See the pattern.
Yeah.
Well, nobody on Timberwolves was an MVP candidate.
No, Jimmy helped him out a bit.
They were the 7th seed.
And it's the Wolves, bro. Yeah. I don't think the Wolves could be anything higher.
But they were making the playoffs at least.
Then with the Knicks, first year, the Knicks back in the playoffs, top 4 seed. Julius Randle in the MVP conversation, all-star, looking like the Julius Randle that I wanted Julius Randle to always be. It's the first year. Second year, somebody dies. Somebody has to die.
Because he has his problem in the past was overplaying guys. He's
But
not.
I think he kind of learned his lesson. Now, let's look at real
bro.
quick. How many minutes is Julius Randle playing right now?
As much as you need to play because it's the fucking Knicks.
That's also true. Let's look at his stats. He's averaging 37.3 minutes a game. That nigga ain't learned shit.
But like I said, as much as he has to because it's the fucking Knicks.
I know, but still, that nigga's playing 37 minutes.
Which has an argument for 6 man, but I think that's literally going to folks. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah. You have nobody else. RJ Barrett inconsistent at the moment. I still think he grows as a player. Definitely, he showed some hope. I never watched a Knicks game in which Obi Toppin was a fucking factor, so I can't have a comment on his ass. They missing out on. Ain't Nerlens Noel dealing with an injury right now?
No, he came back. He's been back a couple of games now.
Nerlens Noel is a big factor. Man, he is gonna get paid next year, bro. I don't know who paying him,
He
but
should
he
have got
deserves
paid
it.
like how he should have got paid years ago. But he told the Mavericks, "Eat a dick. I think I get more money." And he was a free agent till like training camp.
That's that Mavericks. I'm gonna use my white people talking skills to not make sure this nigga get a job, bro.
Hey, he told
But
the
no.
Mavericks. He told the Mavericks, I think I'm worth more than that. I think he was supposed to get like 15 a year. He said, "No, I think I can get more."
But he is worth more than that.
Yeah.
If I'm the Celtics,
I was just talking about the other day. The Celtics need to knock on somebody's door.
Look, man,
If
we're getting to a point. We're getting to a point, and it scares me because I like fuck the Celtics. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm more scared for Jason Tatum because I like Jason Tatum.
yeah, well, he be wearing the purple and gold soon. But continue.
Hey, like they looking like the Blazers East. It's just different. Is Brad Stevens is actually a good coach.
And folks over there starting checks for real, for real.
I think he's a good coach. If Brad Stevens could have left to got more money.
I'm
to
not
coach
talking about
college
he's
hoops.
stealing checks. I'm talking about folks in the Blazers stealing checks for real, for real.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm like.
That's why
I kind of they need to get swept.
I kind of want the Blazers to get their ass beat so they can show that he's not.
He's still not gonna fire him because he got him.
No, they already said he's on the hot seat.
Doing this, they even get to the playoffs. So
Bro, it was a wise bomb, G.
What's the name of the Wizards coach?
Scott Brooks.
How long he been a Wizards coach?
Too long. But Russ is saving his job. Russ has saved that nigga job.
You know, playing to play in, bro.
Russ has saved that nigga job, bro, because that nigga was probably gonna get fired till Russ caught fired.
Bro, Scott Brooks got a fucking Italian mafia outside the owner of the goddamn Wizards fucking office if he get fired. I believe. But like I don't think that nigga get fired, bro. He made the playoffs with that team too many times.
Yeah, but G, that don't mean shit if you don't mean the finals by now.
I think you look at it. You look at it.
They running into teams that are better than them.
Blazers definitely running into teams that's better than them.
Right.
Yeah, but G, at the end of the day, that means you maximize all you can do.
I give the Blazers excuse for the fact name a time they lost in the playoffs other than the fucking when they got out coached and out defense by New Orleans Pelicans when they had a chance of fucking winning. Name a time.
There was never a time, but G, to them,
but
G, this is the thing. At this point, G, Dame is like, hey, that loyalty shit ain't gonna be ticking.
Dan can't go back on his word. He said he want to be a Blazer for life. That nigga.
Hey man, a lot of people say there want to be a lot of things for life. G, it was
that.
NWO for life, and look what happened. So hey,
I don't believe he go back on that word, man.
Look, man, it may not be him, but if I'm an owner, if I'm the owner,
franchise is not building a proper team. Not building a team that's gonna get them.
It's not, but that's easier said than done in the NBA, bro. That shit relies on not only motherfuckers want to play in your market, but only how you doing a draft. Like, and then the situation with they picks is not the fucking best because they spit shit on like Rodney Hood and stuff like that, and you can't blame the coach for that situation. So you like the Blazers in a nutshell. I wouldn't blame the coach for bad front office because with the team that constructed, they should definitely be in a fucking play-in. I know they teetering on it, but look at this shit, bro. If you look and tell me, like the reason the Spurs starting to play in because of their coach, right? That's just the fucking reason.
We could look at that Spurs. They're overachieving.
Overachieving like a motherfucker, right? Young
so that
ass
just shows
team.
how great Pop is.
And only like I know he's not getting talked about now because it's not sexy to talk about Pop, but in this situation, if you look at that Blazers team top to bottom, they got Enes Kanter playing quality center minutes.
Ramadan too.
In Ramadan.
I swear.
Take a team trip to Turkey.
We need to look at Enes Kanter's career stats once Ramadan hit, because like his Ramadan hits in the NBA around playoff time, and it's the worst.
Ramadan
I think
going on.
I thought it already ended.
It's at the end, but Ramadan's still going, I think.
Yeah, so I need to know his stats around that time frame because I feel like that shit be dropping.
Ramadan, I know Kyrie been playing on. They've been calling this nigga Ramadan Kyrie. You ain't been seeing the highlights of him balling in Muslim music? Shit fire, bro. Not even okay. Kyrie got some of the best highlights in the NBA, dog.
We know that. That's a gimme. It's the Allah prayer tunes and all of that. Gee, that probably makes it hilarious. I need to see.
Got to put that shit in chat. But no, that nigga Kyrie definitely got them bitches, bro. During Ramadan. I don't know of any like UFC fighters has fought during Ramadan, but I know during this time. Oh, I gotta talk about the UFC event that's fucking coming up Saturday. That I have to fucking pay for. But
oh dang! Thanks for reminding me because we gotta also re-up ESPN Plus.
That year came up.
Yeah, so I mid conversation during the pod, I canceled it before because I was like, it was gonna break me, and I didn't want to see that text saying up that bread. So I had to cancel. G.
All right, we gonna talk about that one.
We'll talk about it outside after the podcast.
Oh my god, bro! I can't wait till I hit the lotto. But
yeah.
Going back to this thing originally talked with the Lakers, I guess it's a whole Western Conference talk at the moment. Well, bottom Western Conference talk. They don't have to worry. If you look at the Blazers, even though they overachieving, guess what? Not scared of them. The Warriors, you really gotta last one Steph Curry mid game. I don't think Steph Curry's seen you the fucking God 2 games in a row.
No.
The team that you got constructed in which you only have to guard 2 players in Wiggins and Curry. Then your bench versus they bench, take them niggas home, bro. Kill them softly. And it's going to be good to see the Warriors fans lose to LeBron again. That shit's going to be amazing. But as the Lakers, you only worry about the Clippers. Not to say you're scared, but you have to see how they play in the playoffs to form a game plan against them niggas. Because y'all barely win against them this year.
Well, each time they outside the first game of the season, they haven't been healthy. Each time they play,
exactly.
So.
And LeBron always loses the first game of the season.
Last year was hilarious. LeBron said, "Give him one."
You can look up that stat. That first game of the season, shit, is horrible. It was always lose, but going back to this, I'm happy the Lakers is finally about to be healthy. That injury probably shaved down a year in Braun's career. I personally believe that. And what I mean by that, AD gonna have to. It's probably time for AD to take the reins, like legit, and have Braun just be what Chris Paul is to them with just way more fucking money. Like seriously, no, I think LeBron still he has a type of a game where it would age like wine, a la of a Jason Kidd or a Chris Paul, in which nigga until they just decide to lead the game, they gonna be fucking straight. But quick thought, right? So I was thinking to myself, right? This is an out of nowhere topic, but it's a good topic, right? We'll get back to that later. And fuck wrestling. So just take time on wrestling. I'm cool with that. I'm about to have an anti-wrestling t-shirt anytime I come on this podcast. Fuck wrestling. Raw. It is just because of Monday Night Raw. All the wrestling outside of Monday Night Raw has been really, really fucking good. Monday Night Raw has been the worst shit I have seen in my whole entire life, bro. But I was thinking about this, right? And people was talking about, like, you know, they're in the 5 positions, except for center, there is literally no, like, there's no argument of who's the best in each position, right? Magic, Braun, Magic, Jordan, Braun.
Right.
Yeah, Magic, Jordan, Braun, Kim, Kareem. I say Kareem, some people say Shaq, other people say Wilt. That's why I said Kareem got the better resume than all them niggas. But those the center is always, because you can look at somebody like Hakeem, and he was the most skilled center out of everybody. And you look like somebody like Shaq, he was the most dominant. Wilt got video game stats. Bill Russell got more rings than everybody. So, you know, when you look at somebody like Magic, there's such an underappreciation for Magic game. Because I was looking at Russell Westbrook, like, triple
doubles.
Magic is third. The nigga played like 10 years, dog. He didn't play the game. No.
AIDS took. He was going to play another 5 years, at least. He had another 5 years left.
Bro,
AIDS said, done.
This is true, but how long did Magic play?
He played a good 10 years. Yeah, like you just said. He played a good, like, he had a 10, 11-year career. Prime career. As in his prime, like, 10 years.
He won a championship his rookie year, so yeah, that's his prime.
That's what I mean.
But no, seriously, like, when you talk about, and this is another conversation I kind of want to bring in real quick. Who's that two? So if you say Magic won, if you say, you know, Magic is undoubtedly the best point guard of all time.
Yes.
Braun, Mike. The center argument you can't talk, right? Because that center argument is so fucking stupid. Flip-flops too much. But for them other positions, who's the two? Who's the second best point guard of all time? Do you go Steph Curry?
Yeah, I go Steph.
All right, that's second, the best shooting guard of all time. Of course, you go Kobe.
Yeah.
Small forward.
Larry Bird and KD. You can flip flop Larry Bird and KD.
Now this, I asked you.
You can flip flop Larry Bird and KD.
I was debating this in my head, and I was like, if you go KD, you go Bird. Go KD, you go Bird. If I was an owner, depending on what era I played in, and they was like, okay, on the draft right now, you got Larry Bird, you got KD. And the next two players, we got to pick between one of them. Who the fuck you picking? Prime for prime. I know we ain't living that time, but come on, YouTube is a thing.
Like we've seen enough Larry Bird highlights where he just does some disgusting shit.
It's like you can't. It's not a slight not to pick Larry Bird though.
It's not a slight not, but
like literally, like it was.
How can you live with yourself saying you pick Larry Bird over KD?
I won't feel bad. Like the coldest white boy ever, and he talked shit like a nigga, and he wasn't racist. We don't know how.
Larry Bird's career also was short because he wanted to build a new driveway, but them two niggas was dumb as fuck. Without the two niggas, basketball wouldn't be wildly as popular as it is now. But both of them niggas dumb. Magic shouldn't have been ripping and tearing, and Larry Bird should have hired somebody to do his driveway. But like, so if KD's two, who's the second best power forward of all time? Because that's even bigger.
Power forward is
you go Dirk. You can go KG.
You can. Charles Barkley has a
Barkley.
Unfortunately, that piece of shit Karl Malone has a huge case.
I'm not putting Karl
Big
Malone.
ass
I'm
claim.
sorry. I'm not putting. It's just a personal thing for me. After that shit that I seen the other day about him being a fucking pedophile and all this other stuff, I'm not putting him in no basketball conversation.
We can talk Karl Malone being a pedophile all he wants to. But when that nigga did the pick and roll, he was unstoppable. I can't just look at this nigga. That nigga could be a mass fucking murderer. I'm still gonna be like, that nigga can play basketball. Like same thing with Bin Laden. Folks was like 6'2". Should took his ass to a basketball court, bro. Like I'm pretty sure he was hooping niggas on Ramadan as well.
Why do you know this? Look, why do you know that he was 6'2"?
I think he taller than that. I think Bin Laden was fucking 6.
They said Osama was like a good 6'5", bro.
Yeah, Osama bin Laden was tall as fuck, bro.
Like that man should have been in the Saudi Arabia
that nigga was a super
basketball league. G.
Bin Laden. I'm pretty sure.
I'm really hoping using a private VPN while I search.
Karl Malone he's up there. Definitely.
I'm pretty sure from that. Bin Laden was 6'5". That nigga was Braun. Man, what the fuck? Boy, Bin Laden was cold with it, bro. Let me not say that shit out loud. But man,
they gonna bust through y'all window.
Imagine you telling Bin Laden, hey, bro, I don't want to do this today, bro. Sit me on the court or go do that job. Which one? Oh, I'm gonna go do the job, Ben. Exactly. But no, down with the Bin Laden jokes. But like, it's crazy that because I think basketball discourse has gotten weird because a lot of people have had to. One post on Twitter said, "Who would you take between Shaq and Tim Duncan?" Now, that really depends on what type of basketball fan you are.
Bro, that discussion, I looked at it and I was like, I'm glad I was away from Twitter during this time frame because, bro.
Nobody had any logical things to say. A lot of people undoubtedly put Shaq, and I think Shaq is disrespected as a center.
Yeah.
In case of like, even though he's an asshole, and it's because of probably his NBA TV shit that people be like, bro, fuck Shaq. And
also he fucks with 12.
Oh, definitely. But I try to keep that shit up out of it. But when you look at Shaq and what the fuck he did, bro, in a short time, now he did that shit too. Shaq probably played a long time, but in terms of his fucking prime, what Shaq did in his prime, from the time he probably left the Magic until the time he left the Heat.
His prime was once he made the finals.
Okay, from the time he made the finals till he left the Heat, like, that was different, bro. But you look at Tim Duncan, whenever the time Tim Duncan was bad, it's probably his last 2 years.
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say he was bad. He just said, I don't like playing basketball.
Well, I don't think his knees let him. Like yeah, I think there's another situation. I think because basketball was not as popular. You have to be a real hardcore basketball fan to watch basketball in the early 2000s, right? There wasn't a lot of parity at all.
And it was called The Champ is Coming Out West, and more likely it's the Lakers.
Especially in fucking out East. Jason Kidd made 2 finals appearances. But
that nigga left the West to go East and made the finals.
You look at them 2 niggas' game. What the fuck? What Tim Duncan was doing back then was kind of like, shit, it's kind of disrespectful to say AD is better than him. Tim Duncan won a ring, what? After his rookie year or his rookie year?
Second year.
And did he win Finals MVP off that bitch too? It wasn't like he was carried by David Robinson. He literally won Finals MVP. Now, you can talk about the Spurs low-key played, hey, David Robinson injured. Let's did Tim Duncan. We can be unstoppable. But, that's neither here nor there. It's crazy when you look at, because other than small forward and other than center, the power forward, shooting guard, and point guard spot in the NBA, the top 3 in those spots, there is leaps and bounds a bit ahead of the number 2. Like, I think Magic is leaps and bounds ahead of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is just the greatest shooter of all time. But in terms of what you consider a point guard, I don't think we ever see Magic Johnson again. Michael Jordan's the fucking GOAT. In the 6-year span, nobody touched him. Can't say it about nobody else in the league. In a 6-year span, there was nobody to check him, nobody to beat his team, nobody to even get close to beat his team. When he entered the finals, it was a guaranteed W. Within 6 games. It was a guaranteed fucking W.
That man literally saw Scottie Pippen not have a back and said, I'm ending this.
Like, the nigga, look, bro, this is one of the craziest things I heard, too. The nigga literally decided, I'm just going to lift weights. And the whole league was like, bro, what the fuck? Well, that's Michael Jordan lifting weights. What? Like, you can go look that shit up. Michael Jordan decided to say, I'm going to lift weights, and the whole league got scared, bro. Like, there is nothing that, like, you can tell me there's nobody better than him in the power forward spot. And so I don't know why I bring that conversation up. Because, one, basketball is kind of But two, it was a weird Discord on Twitter. I didn't jump in because, like, I don't jump in those conversations, mind you, because I'm young. And my young ass can't tell you the difference between Shaq and Tim Duncan during their time. I didn't live to see it. I think it's disrespectful if I even go into that conversation. Like, for me to, because I'm a bigger Tim Duncan fan than Shaq, so of course I lean toward the Tim Duncan side. But if somebody bring me Shaq final stats, what the fuck I'm gonna compare that shit to? What the fuck I'm gonna compare that shit to? And I think the nigga almost averaged a quadruple double in that bitch, bro. So like you with blocks. Who else doing that shit with blocks? But like you can't. It was weird, bro. But next combo, I just had to get that out.
But yeah, so Lakers might stay safe at 7. We'll move on from there. Oh yes, 6th man of the year. So it's pretty much we're getting a little battle here. Derrick Rose might be making his case. And of course, we from Chicago, we want that case to happen. But Jordan Clarkson's still very much a thing. And since Donovan Mitchell's been hurt, he's been putting up crazy scoring feats in the process. Who is 6th man?
Jordan Clarkson. You're on the number 1 team in the league.
Valid.
Eat that shit. He's a reason that team is number 1. One of the bigger reasons that team is number 1. Along with Rudy Gobert offense and Donovan Mitchell leadership, yet next is Jordan Clarkson. The 3 reasons why that team is number 1. I fucking hate bigging up Rudy Gobert, but I have seen that nigga block a Joker shot. No respect. Derrick Rose, man, that is probably the Derrick Rose story too inspirational to even talk about. But he ain't the 6th man of the year. Unfortunately, if they give him the 6th man of the year, I think it's more of a petty award. Like Derrick Rose, you came back from something nobody else in the league can come back from. You barely have a left leg or right leg. I don't fucking know. But congratulations, you 6th man of the year. I think that would be a disservice to Jordan Clarkson, even though I don't think there should be arguments. I'm 6th man of the year. Fuck you talking about? But definitely Jordan Clarkson. I don't see nobody else getting that joint.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull up comparison stats right now. All right, so hopefully this is 2021. So yeah, this is 2021. So as of right now, I need field goal percentage. Derrick Rose has the better field goal percentage at 47%. Jordan Clarkson's 42%. Jordan Clarkson has made more and attempted more threes. Jesus fucking Christ. This dude attempted almost 600 threes.
Off the bench?
Yes. Wow. But the Jazz also, I think, wanted to higher attempt a lot of threes as a team. That's pretty much
they that fucking team of the year.
Yeah,
you know, so. The Atlanta Hawks, the Raptors, sometimes Rockets, that team, they're just going to shoot a whole bunch of threes. Offense look perfect. And then they meet a real contender and get booted within 4 games. And it's going to be funny as fuck.
Called that ball ain't falling in the hoop. That's what it's called. But,
it's called they met a superstar. Never forget, LeBron told that was a fucking era in basketball.
I just watched that highlight.
Each time I see highlights of that series, bro, LeBron did something different to win that game. Every game he did something different.
Now that floater, it was the 2 things. The floater or that game in which he just hit fucking
Fatal.
fadeaway shots. The nigga was hitting fade. Every shot was a fucking fadeaway. I'm like, nigga, what did y'all say to this man? What the fuck? But no, the funniest meme was that that fucking comment with LeBron face coming down on the dinosaur. I fucking cried every time. Man, I always saw it on Twitter doing that, bro.
G, that was a classic, G, because I cried that day, G. I cried. But yeah, so proceeding.
On against the Celtics for an entire series. That's evil.
Very evil.
He averaged 35 points or some shit like that.
He did.
He didn't have to do that.
He did. He had Kyrie as well.
He didn't have to average 35.
He didn't have to average 30. He didn't have to average 22. The fucking Raptors suck. That shit's so crazy, bro.
But yeah, so continuing, Derrick Rose has the higher 3-point field goal percentage at 38% to Clark is 34.
Derrick Rose is shooting that. He probably shooting this is probably his best 3-point percentage ever.
Probably.
But
he's
Derrick
also
Rose,
shooting at a lower clip.
He doing that at a lower clip, and he also playing mostly in the mid range. I know that for sure. Even though Derrick Rose is playing really good basketball, if you're watching this game without falling asleep, it's a real good basketball Derrick Rose playing.
Yeah. Really Clarkson has more rebounds.
Clarkson has a better. I'm pretty sure he leads every other stat except for probably assists.
You're right.
And percentage.
Derrick Rose has assists. He has less turnovers. Surprisingly, Jordan Clarkson has more steals. Derrick Rose has more blocks, and Clarkson has more points.
I still go. At that point, even though it's oddly similar, except for like points per game. You look at the what's the standards on the team. The Knicks.
Derrick Rose has the power of the Knicks narrative on his side.
He do, but I think the Knicks narrative is going to help Julius Randle and Tom Thibodeau more in those type of award races than it is going to Derrick Rose in the $6 million a year race.
Because he didn't even get there. They were.
Yeah, he got there in the middle of the season too.
Yeah, he didn't get him until like February, end of February.
Yeah, remember his ass was rotting on Detroit for most of the year. So
half the year.
Well, if you even want to call it half, because the league started in December, but he still didn't get that within the time frame. I think Jordan Clarkson been there from the beginning. That team been playing good whenever the Lakers decided to start having injuries. So it goes to like when you talking to coach of the year, hell yeah, the Knicks narrative probably went Thibodeau that, right? If he in conversation for it, which I believe he should be.
He should
do not give that shit to Steve Nash. Do not give that shit to Doc Rivers. And well, you probably give him to the Jazz
I think
players.
Doc Rivers might be in the conversation. Maybe
Doc is going to be in the conversation.
Be in no conversation to his ass though. Get to a fucking conference finals again. That's on the hood.
Damn,
I don't believe shit. There's a good chance them niggas was. There's a good chance that Philly will lose in the first round, depending on who the fuck they go.
It's something's gonna happen.
We've been saying that for years.
But
and the Boston Celtics still wax their ass.
But now you have a better coach. They've been playing a lot better this season too.
No, and they got a really good fucking roster that probably wins them a championship, especially if they beat the Nets. But I will say this: that Knicks narrative. You took a team that was a fucking laughingstock for a fucking whole decade to a fucking good 5-4 seed of just straight good defense and fucking basketball.
And they had
with
a really
best player
impactful
being
winning
Julius
streak.
Randle. And their second best player being fucking Derrick Rose.
Off the bench.
Off of the bench. You can't, nigga, they got Taj Gibson playing rotational minutes. You can't tell me that ain't coach of the year shit, bro. You can't tell me that ain't coach of the year shit at all. You can't tell me that ain't, bro.
Like Tibbs has a valid case. Like he has a very valid case. So I can't.
If Tibbs don't win coach of the year, I think that's disrespectful. Julius Randle, of course, he wins most improved player. You and Nick, but like, man,
because how many coaches they've been through in like the last 4 years?
I don't know. I knew Derek Fisher was a fucking coach, so
that was a very nasty time.
You can't give it to Steve Nash because the nigga playing with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. You winning games regardless. The fucking offense is passing to KD. Like, the fuck? But, like, give it to Ramadan Kyrie.
Talking about Ramadan. Yeah. I get what you mean, but the Chicago and me just wants Derrick Rose to get that award.
Hell yeah, the Chicago and me want to get the award too. Chicago and me want to see wants to see fucking Anthony Davis win another championship until he retire, but who knows if that shit gonna happen.
Very valid. All right. Also, oh yeah, last thing on basketball. Thoughts on the upcoming Hall of Fame class. This weekend, Kobe, posthumously, KG and Tim Duncan are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think it's a few other people, and I don't want to be
Hall of Fame class of all time.
Easily.
The amount of championships just between fucking Tim Duncan and Kobe alone in the Hall of Fame class is crazy. So.
But yeah, so thoughts on Michael Jordan's honoring Kobe. I know
along with his wife.
Along with his wife, of course, yeah.
It should be good. It should be good. It should be very a tearjerker in every sense. Because I believe it's just gonna be good. I don't really know what to say. It's gonna be hard to watch because the amount of Kobe highlights we gonna fucking see again. It's just gonna be hard to watch. Seeing freaking Michael Jordan cry again gonna probably be hard to watch.
His wife.
He didn't even cry that much when the Russians. Let me quit. No, but seriously, it's gonna be good.
But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Definitely gonna tune in. I normally don't tune in live to the Hall of Fame, but this is one I'm definitely. The White Sox are putting up points right now. Jesus Christ. But
how your fantasy baseball league going?
You mean my on the show?
Oh no, I'm talking about your fantasy baseball league. Like you got a fantasy basketball league.
I did fantasy baseball one time.
You check the RBIs, man.
Yo, I did fantasy baseball when I was a kid at like 11 or 12 years old. I did it, drafted the team, didn't know who was on the team besides Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, and I still won without paying attention.
Yeah, for real?
Exactly. I was like, gee, I forgot, like, after All-Star Weekend, I looked, I'm like, oh, I won. Baseball is pretty damn easy, but I wouldn't do it because I'm a casual baseball viewer. But yeah, so shout out to this Hall of Fame class. Definitely one of the best ever. Next year, as long as they don't put fucking Paul Pierce's first ballot, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, you know. Is he a first ballot Hall of Fame with Paul Pierce?
It don't even sound right.
I take my out by bias out of it. He probably is. I don't know.
Unfortunately. I blame Kevin Garnett.
Oh, they still denying Chris Bosh, and they got the same. Chris Bosh got more rings than him. I don't know.
Well, I don't think they didn't want. It'd been weird to put Chris Bosh in this class, because
I definitely would have. He don't fit the motif, but shit.
Yeah, that's just the thing. He just didn't fit the motif. They're like, yeah, because this draft, this Hall of Fame class represents literally early 2000s.
An era in basketball.
Yeah, like the early 2000s, you have literally the KG being one of the best power forwards. Tim Duncan being probably one of the best big men, not even just power forward, one of the best big men, and one of the biggest champions of that time, and Kobe being one of the faces of the league. Until he raped that bitch, but allegedly. But either way, one of the faces of the league. Like, it makes sense if you try to say, all right, let's throw Chris Bosh in there. It's like,
yeah, man,
don't look right. So I ain't mad at it. But yeah, so shout out to this Hall of Fame class. Make sure y'all check out the Hall of Fame. It's gonna be a tearjerker, like Trell said. It's gonna be great. UFC. So Daytra, I'll let you slide with that.
Please tell me the number.
I lost track, but I could easily pull that up because of Google.
I'm gonna say 265.
You're way off.
What the fuck is it,
262.
bro? I'm almost close, bro.
262.
I'm almost close. All right, so look, check it. 262, probably one of would have been the most important UFC bout, but one of cards, but one of the co-main events got what's that called? Removed and pushed till June, which will probably be on the Izzy card, which is really good. But so UFC 262 is going to be a really good event. The deepest division is going to have a title fight, which is the lightweight division, is the deepest division in mixed martial art right now. You got Michael Chandler, the typical white boy, versus Charles Oliveira, a really good Brazilian. And they're going to go at it. Michael Chandler coming from Bellator, knocked out, what's his name? I forget his name. He got one of the white niggas' names too. But he knocked that dude out, got him a title shot. Reason it's not against Dustin Poirier is because Dustin Poirier wanted Conor McGregor for a future event. So, yeah. And then you got Charles Oliveira, who just destroyed one of the people on the card in Tony Ferguson. Just destroyed Tony Ferguson. All, what was it? Either 3 or 5 rounds. And he deserved a title shot. Charles Oliveira has been in the UFC for 11 years. And this is his first title shot. So congratulations to him. Crazy story. Then Tony Ferguson going against Beneil Dariush, which should probably be since Leon Everett and Nate Diaz, which probably would have sold, bro. They would have sold so much if Nate Diaz was on this card, bro. But Nate Diaz has the fucking skin of goddamn orange juice, in which he get touched, he probably got a cut deep as fuck. So, unfortunately, he wasn't able to. He had to pull out for an undisclosed injury. 9 out of 10. He got elbowed by a teammate, and that fucking gash was a gash. But you got Tony Ferguson versus Bill Dariush. Tony Ferguson, probably his last fight in the UFC if he loses again. And if he loses convincingly again to fucking Beneil Dariush. But who knows? Tony Ferguson was one of the greats. Was supposed to go against Khabib, but that fight can never happen. Then you got a bantamweight fight with Matthew Christopher Chanel versus this other nigga. Look, don't know too much about it, but everybody said that fight supposed to be cold. You got Kate Codenhagen versus this other woman. Don't know too much about it, but the fight gonna be cold. And this featherweight of Sean Burgos versus Edson Barbosa gonna start off the card. That's gonna slap. So that's going to be a good event this Saturday. I'll watch it. Now, we should probably do a thing in which you call buy, skip, or a legend when it comes to these pay-per-views, bro. So buy, skip, or a legend. This is a buy. It's definitely a buy. Getting close to the legend because a part got taken out of it, but you want to see Michael Chandler or Charles Oliveira get this belt, so that's a buy. Now, UFC 263, which is happening on June 12th. This is a buy. Like, buy, and then buy some more. This card has Israel Adesanya versus Martin Vittori. Then you got that nigga Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Morano. That nigga Davison Figueiredo, they literally call that man the God of War. Killing it right now. And then you got Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. This is a buy. You buy it. You do not do this shit allegedly. Now, the card after that, which is UFC, no, that's UFC Fight Night. UFC 264. Let's see. That's that Dustin Poirier and McGregor?
Yes.
Go ahead and alleged that shit, bro. But, It's going to be very hard to allege a Conor McGregor pay-per-view, but I'll allege that shit if I was you. But a good fight on there, and it's not happening until July, but a good fight on there is going to be Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Other than the McGregor versus Poirier fight, McGregor got 5 losses now. That nigga looking really pedestrian. But definitely UFC, I will say, has been my most enjoyed sport. Basketball will be second. Tennis will be third. Golf will be fourth. Fucking table tennis will be fifth. And wrestling coming all the way down to 246. So, right under judo. So, Olympic judo. I don't get to watch that more often. But, yeah. Let's talk about this trash shit that involves wrestling.
All right, man. So, wrestling outside of Monday Night Raw has been decent, but Monday Night Raw not being good is not good for wrestling either. Let's put it that way, because
we skip Monday Night Raw, please.
We are not going to talk about Monday Night Raw. We're just going to go ahead and preview Backlash 2021. But I will also, but let's also talk about SmackDown, because SmackDown was really good this past week.
Before we even talk about the whole thing, I need to ask you a title something. In recent history, who has had a better run on SmackDown than Roman Reigns?
Nobody.
In recent history.
In recent history, nobody.
At least the last couple years, I would say AJ.
AJ definitely.
AJ deserves it.
Before that, I would say
Daniel Bryan Eco Championship. Him.
Yeah.
That was a decent
that's still
run.
during the AJ runs.
That was
in this era.
And I'm not just I can even
Are
say
we talking
just
about SmackDown in general, or just
SmackDown in general. You can say star, because you got the Cena when he came back, and he went against AJ, but that's still kind of like AJ when he was running. He was the face that ran the place.
The Usos tag run. The Usos.
I wouldn't consider. I'm talking about like singles, nigga.
Oh, singles.
Hey.
Before that, it's kind of hard to say,
because AJ was one. AJ was one of them, right? Because this was after the brand split.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to say, because the brand was basically conjoined for before 2016.
It was like an after Raw type shit.
Yeah.
Because they had the edge.
I would still say, you could still say before that Daniel Bryan, because when Daniel Bryan was getting his original world title runs, he was the main guy.
I don't think a lot of niggas come close to his Roman run, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think AJ was good. AJ was good. I loved AJ run. It was great. Made SmackDown must see. But you also had that new SmackDown 6 where AJ was done with Kevin Owens and all that type of shit. This shit right here, niggas watching SmackDown just for Roman. Yeah. That shit crazy, bro.
Different breed, G.
That shit, I am so fucking proud of Roman, bro. Like, I haven't been this much of a fan of Roman since he was Superman punching everybody like he was Mini Cena, bro. And then he beat The Undertaker, and I got mad. But
it was more because that match was ass more than I said that match was just ass altogether.
That match was terrible. And the Triple H main event, horrible. Was it that was one of the worst WrestleManias in recent history? That shit was just bad. That was the one in Texas.
Yes.
That was 30, 32.
I don't fucking know. I know it's deserving of the trash. That's what that motherfucker was. But no, seriously, Roman's run.
It's gonna be talked about for a long time, bro. He's not moving from the spot very long time.
Bro, who do you even feel comfortable taking the belt off this nigga, bro?
Nobody has it right now.
Cesaro, you should have waited, because he would seem more like an organic babyface. But now this nigga about to get his ass beat. Shout out to him getting the championship, type joint. And I wouldn't be mad if they do the quick Cesaro win for like 1 week type joint. I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
I wouldn't be mad at it, and then he just sit there, Roman be like, "Look, man."
Roman like, "I want my title back now." And beat his ass up and down SmackDown and say, "This is my house. You no longer be here." Since Cesaro back to NXT,
he's gonna tear the whole SmackDown set down until he get that title back.
He gonna go to that fucking bald head nigga. Gonna make me do shit. I don't want to do it. His ass, man.
But yeah, so but let's go ahead. But SmackDown this past week was actually decent. Jimmy came back, and the most notable thing to come out of that was Jimmy saying, "I ain't no bitch, never will be no bitch."
Video proof of that exact scene too. Still have it. And that was my prediction that he was going to come back and he's still going to be the rebellious one out of the group. Now, I kind of still think in some way, shape, or form, he's going to fall in line, so to speak. But I just feel like he's going to be the one that he's not going to be like, like he said, you're not going to be talking to me the way you talk to my brother. And then, in regards to his brother, are you going to keep letting him treat you like a lackey instead of letting him treat you like, he ain't treating you like family should treat you? So it's going to be a very interesting dynamic with that entire group. Like I still got a prediction. I think Jimmy and Jay are actually going to get into it and actually have a real feud at some point. Even if it's just short term, I think they're going to really get into it at some point. I think it'll be really fun. As far as for Roman after Cesaro, I think, as me and Chris have been talking about it, I think Seth might be next after Cesaro going in leading into SummerSlam season.
Can't make Seth face.
But I don't think you have to though.
You definitely have to. Roman not much of a gangster heel, bro.
Definitely literally. That's the thing. He legit. It's like with Roman, you can make him. He's not ever gonna be face. He's just gonna be like the blur the lines type guy.
A tweener.
Yeah.
Right. So he's actually, if you really want to compare it to something, he's actually kind of what the Undertaker was. Because the Undertaker, after his American Badass and Big Evil gimmick, he was never. It wasn't like obviously he was getting cheered and everything because it's the Undertaker, but he wasn't like. I wouldn't consider his character a face character. He was the tough guy. He was the force on SmackDown.
No, even when he was American Badass, he was tweener. Big Evil, he was heel as shit.
Evil was heel, but American Badass was I would say the American Badass. I'm talking about like the hybrid Undertaker. He came back in 2004.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So like
that's the role he serves on top of being the face of the WWE, that's the role he serves and it's working perfectly. That's gonna be him. I can see him doing that the rest of his career.
Yeah. Cause like he could be the hardcore heel and then just be the tweener where it's just I'm still not necessarily a face. I'm still me. I'm just protecting my damn belt / family. Because you're trying to fuck me over.
I don't think Seth necessarily has to turn heel. No. Afterwards, you could probably maybe turn him face, but I don't think he has to be a face leading into that.
Yeah, like it's going to take like the smart thing is to just literally just don't make this if they were to go that path with Seth versus Roman going towards SummerSlam because you need Roman to have something big for SummerSlam unless Brock comes back, and even then I think it depends what they want to do with Brock.
I don't think it's Brock. From some interview that Paul Heyman had recently, he said Brock isn't interested. So I think they definitely saving Brock for Bobby.
Probably.
I don't see Brock going Bobby either. I don't see Brock until crowds are 100%. So that's August, maybe.
That's SummerSlam.
I know that's SummerSlam, but August, and who knows if they go touring after that. I don't see Brock doing it unless they touring. I think Brock went out on his shield. I think Brock is done. Personally, me. I think Brock is done unless you're doing money fights. So, and I don't think there's any fights out there that interest Brock because Bad Bunny is on tour right now. So I don't think you can do a Bad Bunny v Brock at the moment.
Bro, if
I'm laughing. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Bad Bunny versus Brock selling out arenas, my nigga.
It is.
I would say this is
the image. It's the image of that nigga Brock slinging that nigga across the arena.
Look at him like Canadian Destroyer, huh? But I think this is it's a good place. Like WWE doesn't necessarily need Brock right now. It hasn't been like that in about 5 years, where they Brock hasn't been a part of the show in some way, shape, or form. So I don't necessarily think they need him. to do anything right now. And if he does, if this is it for him, what a fucking career. Because nobody has done it like Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
Probably never will be, unless, Earth 2 Brock Lesnar comes around and says, yeah, it's my turn. But
the reincarnate of Brock, which, hey, man, throw Brock a bag and say, just manage this little nigga, G. be like, this is my fake son, G. It'd be hilarious as hell, G. I need that. But yeah. So SmackDown was decent. They had a multi-man tag team match, decent. And then Cesaro ended the show by beating up the family because Jimmy was being rebellious. So overall, it was a decent Raw. Oh, and Bailey and Sasha's promo was pretty decent as well. But let's go ahead and go into our Backlash preview. We have 6 confirmed matches as of right now. Let's go ahead. Match 1: Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman.
He's gonna eat that pin.
Bobby Lashley wins. Braun is eating the pin. Well, tapped out, one of the two.
Yep, same. No, definitely the same.
Take that L. Bianca Bella versus Bailey. This is going to be a really freaking great match. Bailey kind of has been on a slight hiatus in terms of in-ring action. Like, she's been on promo and TV, but in-ring action wise, she hasn't been around that much. But her and Bianca has a decent chemistry because they even before Bianca won the Royal Rumble, it was on a good run. So this is gonna be a good match. That's for the belt. Bianca retains.
Definitely.
Bianca retains.
Or Sasha, because she hasn't been back since after Mania. She interferes and we start getting rolled to a back and forth between the three of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can see it too. Who knows, man? Who knows? We can get a triple threat at SummerSlam, or the paper and Money in the Bank. We can get a triple threat at Money in the Bank.
Possible. We'll see. Something interesting going on with that. Then Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte. Triple threat. I'm at both Raw's main belts for the sexes involve triple threat matches, but
I would say that the women's one is more entertaining because we kind of suspected that Braun, Bobby, and Drew gonna get thrown.
The women's one is entertaining until you find out Rhea Ripley ain't no damn chemistry with Asuka.
None at all.
They fucking life, dog.
I'm gonna say this. I think Charlotte wins.
You think Charlotte wins, get the belt back? I don't think they get Charlotte the belt. I think Rhea Ripley holds on to this belt for a while. Keep that gimmick until like Shayna or somebody take it off of, or somebody come from SmackDown to Raw. But for the most part, Rhea Ripley keeps that belt. An NXT call up or something.
Very much possible, but I'm sticking with Charlotte. Tyler, who you got?
I'm gonna stick with Rhea Ripley. I don't really think they should take the belt off Rhea Ripley so early. I don't think they, give the character, more time to grow.
Man, definitely.
If Charlotte does take it off her, I think she could be another transitional champion.
So who though?
Situation. It could, like I said, like Alexa. It could be, leading up to Alexa Bliss taking the belt off, either one.
But if that's the case, if that's the case, then I'm keeping the belt on Rhea.
Right. That's why I think it's going to. You keep it on her, and they probably end up meeting up somewhere down the line.
But also, I think it will honestly, because I think Charlotte winning is my hot take. But if Rhea retains, if for Alexa Bliss' sake, you're not doing all this unless you're either going after Rhea Ripley or Charlotte. Because I think Asuka's going to probably take a little break after this. She's due. Like, she's literally been a workhorse all year for a year straight. since the moment she got the belt. So I think if that's the case, Charlotte is going to have to deal with Mega.
Also,
Demon.
I think a vignette. Sorry to kind of backtrack a little bit, but I think a vignette for Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux showed up on Raw too. So there's a possibility Killer Kross, he might be working somebody.
I would shoot somebody. Keep it right there. Now. I would shoot somebody.
I don't think it's for him to get moved up officially, but I think it's that Raw needs something interesting to happen. They don't have.
He ain't it. Bro, look, they talk about Velveteen.
Nah.
I don't need another skinhead on my roster, dude.
Yeah, like, I get what you mean, Tyler, but in ring wise, that nigga's that nigga's still, yeah. Like, yeah, I would love to see his wife prance around and all of that. That's a lovely sight. But I'm kind of good.
Yeah, and plus I think they probably couldn't do Finn versus Karrion Kross too at in your house.
Yeah, they definitely don't. No, I think they got a title match next week.
Next week? No, it's
Nah, it wasn't no that thing they had on In Your House. Whatchamacallit.
Yeah,
it's probably not official yet. Let's put it that way.
It's official.
It's
because the Twitter said it.
Oh,
it's official. I don't think they're going to In Your House, which is, fine. I think Finn has definitely outgrown the NXT brand again.
Yeah, that's why I think
Finn ended his because he was having a Roman type run on NXT. Yep. Shit, he was having a run, bro.
Like Finn needs to be on Raw expeditiously.
Bad, fucking horrible. Hey, they already got a story with Bobby. So take the belt off him all the day.
Yeah.
To go back to the pay-per-view. What's the next match?
The tag team match between. I'm not calling them niggas the dirty dogs. Like, you niggas are not cute dogs. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode and Ray and Dominic. Ray and Dominic.
There's no reason to keep the belts on Roode and Ziggler no more. They've been placeholders for long enough. They're gonna give Ray and Dominic. The funny thing about this, them saying like they're gonna be the first father and son to win a tag team title together. They're probably gonna be the only father and son to do that shit.
Yeah, I don't see shit.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just me thinking about it. It's like they're probably gonna be the only ones. I don't know no other father and son, wrestlers that are wrestling together or have wrestled together.
Alec, ain't gonna mean much because Usos gonna super kick them niggas to God, but but yeah, it's a nice little thing. Thank you, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, Brand Dominic gets it just so we can finally, at least to the Usos, putting themselves back in the tag team title picture. So, and plus, I just kind of need the Roman dropping bars on Ray and Dominic to say, nigga, your family ain't shit to my family. I just need that promo. And it's been escaping us for most of this year.
Yeah.
Ooh. Next, Damian Priest versus The Miz in the most random lumberjack match ever.
Damian Priest.
Yeah, Damian Priest.
That's another nigga who can see a title soon. We also forget Aleister Black is coming back for SmackDown, so that's another nigga who can see a title soon.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the IC title, because that kind of Apollo, his African regime, kind of threw that down a tad bit. But
my African regime. That nigga, he has that big nigga literally poking niggas in the neck, G. Come on, man.
What they called, they literally took the Samoan spike and just replaced Samoan with Nigerian.
Nigerian nail.
Oh, well.
Bro, what the fuck?
The same fucking move.
That shit sound a little racist. We ain't gonna hold y'all. That shit sounds terrible. Reason I didn't even know that nigga shit was called the Nigerian nail.
Yeah, he said, "Oh my God, it's the Nigerian nail." I'm like,
That shit sound like a name. Nigerian nails. The WCW name right there.
I have a feeling if I was to look that up. Hey, Peacock, hurry up and upload the damn WCW's Nitro so I can continue my my rewatch for content reasons. But yeah, so Damian Priest over the Miz, no big deal here. Then we have the main event, Roman versus Cesaro. Uh, I think we all in agreement that Roman wins. This will be a very good match. Or it's gonna be Roman just beating the dog shit out this nigga.
I'm gonna
With
go.
a slight possibility that Cesaro comes off of an upset.
Yeah, a slight possibility Cesaro comes off with an upset. But who knows?
The hottest take I could say with this match is if he does come up with an upset, is because Jimmy tried to get involved one way or another and he messed up somehow or did it on purpose. But it might not go that way. But I wouldn't if Cesaro does get some type of upset, I wouldn't mind it. Probably literally only gonna be for like a week.
A week, maybe two. It'd be funny. It was like 2 weeks. Roman takes a week off, but then he drops a little video on the treadmill saying, "Yeah, I'm letting you just bask in your
Y'all
moment."
Swiss Superman. All right, we gonna see.
He said, "Let you bask in your greatness a little bit. Let you spin around, twirl with the belt because I'm coming for my shit back. I'm gonna twirl you." I mean, hilarious as hell. So I'm for it. I'm definitely for it. But I still think Roman just beats the shit out this man while talking some grade A shit at the same time.
James Harden came back, dropped 18, 7, and 11 off the bench with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Y'all go ahead and polish that championship up for the niggas now. Y'all go ahead and polish that championship up for the niggas.
That's it. That's checkmate, bro. Like, don't laugh.
Like that, boy. I don't know how you beat that. I don't know how you beat that. That's a good two-peat right there, bro. There's gonna be few teams who can beat that shit coming up, dude. You might as well call it.
Bro, that dude came off a bad hamstring and said, "Yeah, man, slight work."
Off the bench.
Who don't play?
Who did they play again?
Probably not.
No, they played the Spurs. Shit do not matter. That nigga came
practice game.
Definitely and practice the shit out of that. But back to Backlash. I think it'll be a really good pay-per-view for WWE. A solid one. Not about to have high expectations, not about to have low expectations. But I think it'd be a good pay-per-view for them. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a predictable pay-per-view.
Very.
The ass match of the night definitely probably go to Damian Priest and The Miz.
Yeah.
They probably gonna add maybe one, maybe two more matches. I probably just one. I think they either gonna add a U.S. title match or they gonna add a Intercontinental title match. One of the two.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably gonna be Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo, but he supposedly got hurt on Raw on this past Monday, some type of knee injury. Sheamus fell on his leg or something like that. So who knows?
That's a big motherfucker fall on your leg too. We'll see where that goes. Unfortunately, Sheamus out here getting niggas hurt. Moving on, Daniel Bryan's future. He's currently not under contract by WWE. Niggas thought he was going to AEW because Cody Rhodes has a big announcement. Cap.
It's a big announcement.
Was it supposed to be a big announcement today?
Yeah, and he's fired some nigga I never heard of. So shout out to
bro.
Cody
Like,
Rhodes.
I'm not these normal scam likelies, bro. I'm scammed for sure.
Scammed you niggas. Scammed you niggas for ratings, my nigga. Fall for that shit again. Stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Daniel Bryan is not under contract. He's in the alumni section of the WWE page. Mugs don't know what's going on, but all I'm gonna say is that nigga's about to take a nice little break. He's gonna be on Raw before SummerSlam.
Yep.
I don't know. Probably go to NXT. If we don't go to NXT,
Raw needs him more though. Not even just to be on the show. They need him producing wise too. Because Raw is the writing and producing has been fucking terrible.
I don't know. I can see him be at AEW soon. I'm not even capping.
If AEW got the money to pay that man, that nigga know his worth.
Yeah, but still some new, better matches. Your OG not gonna be a trainer schedule. I can see him at AEW. The money thing is gonna come regardless. Sometimes wrestlers just want something fresh, you know.
Yeah, what he's been talking about too. He's gonna cross some stuff off for the end of his career.
Yeah, it could happen. See, but either way, whatever happens, happens. But all I know is he is the GOAT.
There's you can't count on your hand any better wrestlers than him in the world still at his age. So you go to AEW, I definitely will be tuning in more than I already do. That's not a cap.
Same. I definitely agree. Because honestly, I just don't really pay attention to much. But does AEW do anything interesting in the past couple of weeks since we last recorded? The Blood and Guts match was interesting in itself. Classic AEW death match. Good match in itself. Well, I won't say good. Entertaining match. Because when, like, literally, it lived up to his name.
Nah, Blood and Guts, we just haven't recorded with Blood and Guts was a thing.
Yeah. So, entertaining match. Respect. Shout out to Chris Jericho falling on protective crash plates.
Shout out to him having to explain himself to niggas he don't have to explain himself to.
Exactly.
That's that company in a nutshell. Oh yeah, I think AEW been doing really good lately. Don't watch it as much. He'll fight that nigga who raps when he come to the ring. Fuck that shit. That shit corny as fuck.
They got an AEW R-Truth.
Man, that shit fucking ass, dog.
Speaking of rapping,
only people who like it is British niggas, bro. And I don't take their opinion seriously. So.
That was a good show, isn't it?
Good show, Governor.
Good show, Charlie. Good show.
But speaking of rapping, NXT shout out. And this is gonna lead to a little discussion before we close out.
Rap do not belong in fucking wrestling. In a discussion. That's corny.
It just don't. It worked for R-Truth because he actually raps all together, and he's actually funny as hell. But look, man, I respect Isaiah Swerve, G.
Yeah, respect. A really good wrestler.
Really good wrestler. I'm glad you have your own black faction, G. It's good to see. It's good to see that you picked off Leon Ruff with them niggas. But G, Tyler, go ahead and say that name.
Now, listen closely. Hit Row Records.
Say that one more time.
Hit, H-I-T, Row Records.
My man's is on straight weird shit.
Definitely.
Look, man.
I'm gonna really be mad if the big dude in the group does not have any type of Suge Knight energy, because you cannot be the Suge of the group and not put niggas in a body bag when you get in the ring.
I need him to allegedly give niggas HIV.
Right.
And then also, before we close out, because this is back to horrible names, we got the return of the modern day Maharaja of Jinder Mahal, and he has a crew of big niggas. But one of the names.
What's one of their names?
Beer and Shanky.
WWE can't keep fucking everything is so fucking corny, dog.
Shanky. Nigga don't even got a knife tattooed on him. Can't believe it.
Is this what the fuck you look like a piece of shit? This look like some shit.
I need whoever Vince McMahon is probably
Call him
marrying.
Shanky.
Yeah, whatever.
Vince McMahon needs to stay away from the naming process at this point. G, he looked at a grown ass man, a huge grown Middle Eastern nigga, and said, "I'm calling you Shanky." This is them times where I need Triple H, Steph, or even Stephanie or Shane to be like, get him out the room. It's time. Like, he can stick around to like make final decisions. That's fine. But gee, this is one of those times where it's like his creativity needs to be yanked. But the name Shanky is very outrageous for a grown ass man. I'm not for it. I can't take the group seriously now because it kind of sucks. But shout out to Drew McIntyre also saying that he would like to work a program with the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. So he might have something to do after Bobby chokes him or Braun out again. So
Cool with all that. Cool with them, wrestling and all that type of shit and everything. Don't get Jinder Mahal that belt back.
please don't. That's all I literally keep him away from the main event scene. Please. You can have him do something with Sheamus. I don't care. But keep him far away from the main event scene. But he can have fun with Drew. He can have fun with Sheamus. He can have fun fucking Shelton Benjamin for all I give a fuck. Keep him away from that main event scene. Or you going to see the Raw ratings crash to levels that we have never seen before. That's all I'm going to say. All I will say. So, but let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. We appreciate you niggas for listening. As always, make sure you follow us on Twitter at 3s from the ring, 3S from the ring. Greatly appreciate the support. As always, make sure you copy some merch at www.utweekingmedia.net. Still got free shipping going on. Put in the promo code UTM Chips and $10 off for UTM Vibes 10. We appreciate all the support. Make sure you, if you're watching us, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and subscribe and share. And make sure you check out all the podcasts we got going on the YouTube channel, plus Cam's game commentary on Returnal and Dear Replicant. Also, if you listen to us on the Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Pod, all of that good stuff, make sure you comment, share, subscribe, follow, whichever one it is. And unlike Joe Budden's podcast where he scams his own friends, we don't do that here on You Tweaking Media. But at the same time, once the money comes in, I can't give a guarantee of that. So, but at the same time, support us either way. So, man, I'm going to throw that joke in every podcast this week just for LOLs. But either way, we appreciate you guys for listening and all that good stuff. Peace.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.